Hey, I'm Justin. Welcome to NEMO Fishing. And that's not Finding Nemo, that is Northeast Missouri Fishing. This vlog's title is Maximizing Your Kayak's Usefulness. Or perhaps another way of saying it is Confessions of a Kayak Fishing Minimalist. Just a few thoughts on kayak and kayak fishing. Why do this? Why fish from a kayak? Why are so many people getting into this? What are the advantages of using a kayak to fish? And are you maximizing those advantages when you are fishing from a kayak? First, why are people fishing them from kayaks? What is one advantage? Well, the cost factor. It's cheap. It's cheaper. I mean, you can be used kayak or a relatively inexpensive kayak, $300, $400, $500 by the time you buy some of the accessories, but well under $1,000, which is a lot cheaper than a bass boat. Or even a sophisticated John boat. So the cost factor. Also simplicity. It's beautifully simple. No trailer, no gas to worry about, no electricity to plug in unless you don't want to. You toss it on the roof of your car or in the back of your truck, and hey, you're on the water in a few minutes if you have close access. Either way, there's simplicity to that is really pretty beautiful. Also the speed factor though. Once you get to the lake, you can get on and off the water quickly. And that is a huge big deal for me. When I am there, I want to be on the water fishing, not loading up, not at the boat dock, boat ramp, fiddling around. I want to be fishing. There's also an agility factor. Small waters, small streams, small lakes, you can get there in a kayak and you can't even get access to with a normal boat. But also on bigger waters, there's areas that you can't get to in a bigger boat. On a local lake where I'm fishing, actually where I was fishing here that you're watching, this was a little stream further in a little inlet. Nobody was getting up there, but I could get there. And we're talking 9-10 inches, maybe a foot of water in that little trough. But I caught a nice 17-inch largemouth there. Nobody else is getting back there. So there's the agility factor that's critical to me. Meanwhile, your buddies are still, with their big fishing boats, are still loading and unloading and having catastrophes on the docks or at the boat ramp. You're already on the water fishing. So that's pretty stinking cool if you ask me. Agility, speed, also there's a stealth factor involved. A kayak is one of the most unintrusive boats on the water, or at least can be. It's quiet. You don't have to deal with a trolling motor that's going to make noise in the water or have catastrophes like Bill Dance is there. It's stealthy, and that's a big advantage, especially on small waters. So how do we maximize these advantages? Well, keep it reasonable, I mean, if you're going to go all out and put in electronics and a trolling motor, and you're going to have all this plush stuff in your kayak, which seems to be very popular nowadays, you might as well just buy a bass boat and go that route. Why not keep it simple? Remember, the more you have, the more you can screw up with, the more that can go wrong, the more there is to load, the more it's going to slow you down when you're getting on and off the water. The more you got to carry with you, the more that you dump if you roll it. You're not going to be able to get where you need to get, where a kayak gives you an advantage to get. So do you really need all that fancy stuff? Do you need a trolling motor? No, you don't. Use a paddle. Use a little small hand paddle. Do you really need 5 rods when 1 or 2 will do? You need a fish finder. Sure, there's times I've been on the water where it would have been nice to have a fish finder, but most of the time I know exactly where I need to be and what to fish for. I just need to execute. Do I need my whole arsenal of bass lures with me in the boat? Maybe if you're a kayak bass tournament angler. And hey, I'm not going to dog anybody. If that's you and you like to have all that stuff and that's your MO, do it. Have fun with it, you know. But I think at some point you start minimizing the usefulness of a kayak, and you might as well just buy a bigger boat. You want to keep it agile. You want to keep it in an area. You want to be able to fish those areas where other boats aren't able to get, under those low-hanging branches, or back in those little creeks and streams that the bass boats won't even dare go because of fear of scratching or getting stuck. They don't want to scratch up the shiny bass boat, and they don't want to get stuck. So, but if your kayak is all weighted down with 200 pounds of extra gear, you're not going to be able to get back there, and that is not maximizing your advantage. So hey, that's just some of my thoughts on fishing in a kayak. And if you're a kayak angler that's fishing tournaments, do what it takes to win. Hey, if you need 5 rods, you need 5 rods. Me, I like just being me on the water by myself, the rod, the fish, the kayak, and having that agility is a big factor to me. So hey, keep fishing, people.